start of this interesting matchup. Barbados will be eager to test their skills against top seed Canada. Barbados, of course, not very well known for indoor hockey, but they have quite a good quality side for outdoor. And these youngsters will no doubt be interested in seeing where they measure up against the powerful Canadians. See Barbados starting in possession. Ball up the right flank. Over to Jonathan Roberts in possession for Ghana. With him is G1 Bat holding down the defense. The veteran Kenny Pereira, number 9, earning his 400th cap for Canada this tournament. It'll be interesting to see what he can produce. Canada with the first attempted goal, parried off the back line by goalkeeper Boyce.
Taking no chances there, boys.
We have a wayward ball going in through to Daliwal, who makes up the duo of attack along with Lyle Fernandez for Canada. We have Neil Franklin and Che Warner in defense along with Lorando Davis for Barbados. Up front we have the skillful Akeem Rudder, who did some damage against Guyana for Barbados side, and the experienced Dave Cox.
Improved performance by the Barbados against Guyana.
Yes, Barbados looked quite solid against Guyana. They came out the losing end of that battle, but only by a 1-goal margin.
The Canadians playing a Sikh, obviously a Canadian national now, but of Sikh origin, maybe from the Punjab.
Ball into Pereira to Fernandez. Foul called against him.
That Pereira could be from Sri Lanka originally. Or my cousin,
Well,
I don't know.
quite possibly Reds, distant relative. You have Franklin in possession. Franklin and Warner passes between themselves. Canada falling off to a half-court defense, and then here comes Daliwal, putting pressure on Warner. Ball down to Jonathan Roberts, who falters it over the side. Ball retrieved by the tournament officer. Could be the skill there by Warner. Putting a little bit of pressure on the Canadian defense up on the left-hand side. Warner trying to seek that first penalty corner for his side, Barbados. Here's Franklin out to Cox. Mishandled by Cox. Ball is over to G1 Bat. The Canadian men have appeared 4 times in the 5 outings for this tournament so far, Reds, and they've won all 4.
Very impressive record.
Robertson to Fernandez. Tries to find Pereira on the right side. Long corner to Canada. Jonathan Roberts switches off for Mika Teixeira. Another long-standing member of this Canadian international side.
Quickly, how did Canada do in Rio? Did they qualify for Rio?
For the Olympics? No, they, in the outdoor game, they did not make the outdoor lineup. While they're strong in the outdoor game, they're not quite as strong as Argentina. And Argentina, who won the Olympics, are the Pan Am favorites in the outdoor game.
The Europeans getting stronger.
And the Europeans, of course, are always strong.
Belgium.
Yes, especially in indoor hockey.
Almost 5 minutes gone, and the Barbadians are very happy to be nil at this time. Canada will no doubt looking for an only goal.
Here's While Europe is strong in the outdoor games, Reds, they're powerhouses in the indoor. In the men's competition, the top 6 nations in the world are from Europe. And in the women, the top 7.
Canada's made some substitutions.
Penalty corner, Canada.
Barbados under a little bit of pressure here. Pressure mounting on the Barbadians. And their colors of the flag. Canada, white with a touch of black around the shoulders. All white strip.
Canada's traditional penalty corner striker, Jonathan Roberts, is on the bench. But I think number 3, Mika Teixeira, has shown in previous matches that he can be just as good from the penalty corner lineup.
The penalty corner is awarded. You can make a quick substitution.
No, not allowed.
Right.
And Teixeira lets his ball fly but misses the bar by inches on the wrong side.
And we want to cater for our listeners. They might be asking.
Balls with Barbados. Warner and Davis in defense.
7 minutes gone. It's still 0-0. Barbados is pretty easy to coaching staff. They do well in the tournament. You can attract sponsorship when you go home. Barbados has recently had a bond built where they can play indoor hockey.
And that's Pereira, the veteran Pereira, finding a space from the narrowest of angles to get past Boyce in the goal.
Boyce might have been not close enough to the angle to cut it off.
Here's Davis, driving up the right side for Barbados. Barry Clark receives it. Foiled by goalkeeper Pardy Kunar for Canada. Robertson's back on, has possession down in the left-hand defensive corner for Canada. It looks like it's a penalty corner for Barbados.
Yes, their first opportunity, they need to take it. Everybody's got a game plan, I suppose, for this.
Yes, it's well rehearsed. So
Lots of practices, dozens and dozens of times.
Yes, indeed it is. So we need to see if Akeem Rudder can pull any surprises for Barbados. They're down a goal already. 12 minutes remaining on the clock. Goalkeeper Kunar has been to Guyana before for a Diamond Mineral Water Festival.
Oh, that's really very, very good.
He's playing in somewhat familiar conditions, and we've been able to see him in this part of the world. He's very, very talented goalkeeper.
What led him to come here? An invitation? Somebody knows somebody?
Yes. Several members of the Canadian side have been visiting us from time to time, and the initial link was through Roberts himself, whose father was a former Guyanese international. Kip Roberts, who I hope is watching at the moment.
Played board hockey and rugby and played good football too.
Roberts saving on the line, driving the ball out, hoping to find Fernand. Barbados across to Davis, clock to Davis, but Davis just a bit too late to the receiving end. That time the ball got up to Fernand, lifted the ball over the goalkeeper Boyce, up into the net of Barbados.
And that was transferred from a Barbadian almost scoring to Canada picking up the second goal from the left side again.
That's it with the quality sides, Reds. In a blink of an eye, you can go from end to end and create opportunities that catches the opposition off guard.
2-0 now to Canada. About 10 minutes left. Barbados working the ball in their half of the court. Now comes forward.
Canada putting some pressure now. Barbados successful in breaking. I think a card is likely to be awarded for that stick obstruction tackle. Tyler Branco, number 11. given a card. So Canada down to 4 field players and a goalkeeper. One less than Barbados. For 1 minute. Ball into Dhaliwal. He almost makes the first time touch past Boyce, but Boyce was equal to the challenge. Ball up now to the speedy Akeem Rudder. Displaying some good skill.
Rudder is a handful.
Good pass by Warner. Almost finding Clark on the end of that for a deflection goal.
Number 2 full of beans.
Barbados down by 2 reds, but certainly putting up a reasonable challenge to the table.
Yeah, not been outclassed at all.
Ball lifted there.
He was in position. No pressure.
Barton Chishira control it to the back for Canada. The veteran Pereira, Dhaliwal and Krempel up front for Canada. Here comes Pereira into Dhaliwal.
Pereira is very, very quick. Oh, now went astray and picked up by Canada.
Ball is out. Finds the back of the net.
No, that was an early Christmas gift. Bad mistake, bad passing, and Canada picking it up on the right side.
Goalkeeper Knight did his best to slide and block that shot, but it managed to find a corner between his left pad and the goal post, giving Canada the 3-0 lead.
It'd be great if we could have one of the Canadians coming over after the game is concluded, maybe Roberts himself. Donald Phillip, if you can use your magical contacts and see if you can orchestrate that. And of course talk to the Barbadians too.
I'm sure they'd be happy to.
Fair size crowd bidding up. I have the feeling that on the far side, maybe it's the cooler seats.
No, it's actually quite to the contrary, Reds. The far side is the closer accessibility to the public, but the cooler seats are actually on the eastern side, which is behind us.
So you have to give something to get something. A shorter walk hotter.
Yes.
Way back in 1975, I was part of the building of this by your late Uncle Bunny Fernandes. The architect was George Henry Associates, and Ian McDavid of squash and badminton fame spent many, many hours here along with myself and Bunny.
So Barbados in possession now. You have Franklin and Fox. Canada putting some pressure up top with Pereira. Here comes Kemper. Barbados found himself in a spot of trouble now with Franklin down in the left-hand corner, looking for a way out. Surrounded by 2 Canadians. And Franklin is excellently to find the ball out to his Barbados colleague.
A diagonal ball out to the left side almost worked for Barbados.
Wayward ball to Dhaliwal. Dhaliwal to Pereira. Lifted. Fox in possession for Barbados. Settles it a bit. Fox, a veteran for Barbados. Spent quite a long career playing for his country before relocating to Canada. A good dummy by Small.
Barbados to take the pass midway, they go back into their own half, comes down in front of the microphones, and a direct ball into the circle, which goes right over the back line. So it's going to be a hit to Canada just outside of the circle. Hit taken now, square to the left full back. Canada looking to open the Barbadian defense, taking their time about it as they lead by 3 goals to 0. Down the right side they are working. Eventually the whistle goes against Canada and it's a hit by Barbados. Mistake there gives that mistake.
And recovers very quickly.
Canada working the ball very nicely. No direct stuff. Looking for the opening, playing for the opening, working hard. The defense of Barbados. Some very interesting passing. That was a diagonal ball that went astray, but there were about 10 passes there, Philip.
Yes. Good control by Canada. Showing their possession skills, the dominance of the game. Barbados in possession now once again. Cox and Franklin at the back. You see Barbados has pushed up Davis and Warner to join Rudder. 3 of their more prolific ball handlers of the game. Probably looking to try to get that impetus of a goal. Dhaliwal comes again for Canada. Losing out. Fernandes with it. Up in the net. And a brilliant finish by Fernandes. Driving the ball past goalkeeper Knight over his left shoulder into the far corner.
And he was on the pressure. The keeper was coming out. There was a defender with him, but he managed to have the balance and got the shot in.
Definitely. Very good effort there by Fernandes.
4-0 to Canada. 4 minutes, 14 left. And we were making every effort to get a Barbadian comment and a Canadian comment. Not a lot of time for the commentators to get that, because they all want maybe to get their ice bag and ice bath, then head back, especially if they got a second game in the evening. Today, of course, the second day, play starting much later than yesterday, and that will be the pattern as we head down to the quarterfinals, Philip, on Thursday.
On Friday.
Friday
will be the placement matches begin.
Barbados knocking it around but losing it to Canada.
Captured by Canada. Teixeira. Try to find Fernandes. Unsuccessful.
Less than 4 minutes left. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whoever you are. As Barbados try to at least play for pride and get a goal here. They're deep in their own half. Square ball again to the left full back, under pressure as he comes in quite nicely, but is there an obstruction call against Canada? Yes, Philip.
It seems like Canadian Devon Teixeira sent to the sin bin. We spend a minute when Barbados is then up by numbers with 5 fewer players versus the 4 for Canada. Now is the time for Barbados to attack and try to see if they can get some points on the board. Warner, good effort to spin. Excellent goalkeeping there by Kunar, blocking both shots. Long corner to Barbados.
I don't know if because hockey is a more gentle game, the sin bin is only 60. In rugby, it's about 5 or 10.
In the outdoor version of the game, it's much stronger than that.
Good work by the Barbados keeper.
The rebound came off in the air, giving Canada a penalty corner. And this could be pretty dangerous. The number 1 specialist, Roberts, is on the court. I rather expect it to go direct, Reds. Roberts can shoot the ball with quite a bit of power and great accuracy.
Roberts plays field and indoor for Canada.
So, he started his career in field, but now he plays 6 to the indoor game. Much Roberts, an uncharacteristic miss for him. Barbados survived on the effort. Davis and Franklin controlling into Cox. Back on once again to Davis and Franklin. Interception by Canada, out to Fernand. This is 0. Pomley gives Barbados possession once again. Fade over by right side to Franklin.
Almost less than a minute left. The Barbados at least wants to pull back one. And the ball is pushed up the left side. Still in possession of Barbados, looking to come across the court. Do not now. Intercepted in a counter-attack by Canada, Philip.
Canada had a good opportunity there, but Branco could fail to control the final pass. There's 30 seconds left in the half. Barbados settles it. Kind of putting a bit of high pressure at the moment. Ball over to Davis on the right. Branco attacking him, and Branco steals the ball, gets into the lead. Makes a shot. Saved by goalkeeper Knight. Robert sends the ball deep into the circle. Jay Warner for Barbados on the attack. He has a rudder ahead of him. Goes down the right. Turns the corner. Goalkeeper Kunar is out. Warner needs to find something. And the time expires before he does. So that takes us into the halftime with a score of 4-0 in favor of Canada, who seemed pretty confident and dominant in their first half. Having said that, Barbados have played a reasonably good game of hockey and have had patches where they've shown some real impetus against the pre-tournament favorites. So we're going to take a short break now, but before that, just to mention that a big thank you once again to our sponsors, our main platinum sponsor, ExxonMobil, and our gold sponsors in John Finance Limited, GTT, Bounty Farm Limited, Guyana Olympic Association, and Banks DIH, and then our silver sponsors in Republic Bank and Sterling Products Limited.
And of course the press locally has given you a great support.
The press have been fantastic. We appreciate them coming out in numbers and giving us good coverage as well.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a Canadian voice or a Barbadian voice. As soon as that's available, we will come back on stream. Wherever you are, which part of the world, you had a look at those areas that the hits are coming from?
Yeah, I think the majority of our hits have been from Argentina, some 7,000 plus.
Uruguay?
Uruguay, we've had probably maybe a 600 or 700.
Mexico?
Mexico, another 400 or so.
Canada?
Canada and the USA have been in just shy of 2,000.
Europe?
And Europe, we've had some from Europe. I'm not aware of fully the numbers, but we've had a few.
Australia and New Zealand?
Australia and New Zealand, there's been some attention there as well.
Yeah, well, great to know that streaming has worked. Great to know that NCN is bringing this live, which is great for sport in Guyana. It's a step in the right direction, and as soon as we have a chance to talk to the Barbadians or the Canadians later, we will certainly be having them. In the meantime, we take a break, you take a break. Good morning, good afternoon, good day.
this is their 4 appearances, 4 saves tonight. So there was only one other tournament they didn't go to, right? And then this is their world ranking, world indoor ranking 10th, outdoor 11th. Panama indoor ranking is first, outdoor is second. Argentina.
This is what? This tournament.
It's indoor.
This indoor qualifier.
This is Panama.
Panama.
Qualifier 2018 final.
Yeah. This one actually, I believe, the 6th. The 6th. Yeah, there was one that they didn't go to. Only Cuba, Venezuela, and Panama. Chavez, Portland. Only Cuba, Venezuela.
On the mind.
And we're back once again with the second half of the Canada-Barbados men's clash, pool round clash in the Indoor Pan American Cup 2017. We'd like to say at this point a big thank you to NCN, National Communications Network here in Guyana, for picking up the games, broadcasting live. We would like to also thank iNet for the broadcast stream and CBC for the rebroadcast. So wherever you're watching, those are the companies that are responsible for your viewership. Ball is now with G1 Bat of Canada and Mika Teixeira in the defense. Canada enjoys a 4-0 lead at this point over Barbados. Second half just underway. Brilliant combination, just foiled there by Daliwal lifting the ball illegally and giving possession to Barbados. Here's Che Warner for Barbados, one of the more offensive-oriented players that they have on their side. Lorando Davis finding Rudder, mishandled by the skillful Rudder.
Impressive first half.
Oh, he did, and he had an impressive first match as well last night, Reds. And I think he was one of those kinds of players that can make a difference to the Barbados side. Mishandled by Teixeira for Canada in defense. Gives the ball over to Barbados. Davis is on spot. Over to Franklin. Franklin up to Rudder, who makes a turn. Tries to find space on the right. Gets a free hit. Cox almost found Davis free in the circle. Seems like it could have been a good opportunity for Barbados. Davis was a bit ahead of the pass. Canada in possession once again. Barbados opting for a half-court defense. Here comes Franklin putting a bit more pressure. Uncharacteristic for Franklin on the forward line. Putting pressure on Bat. Bat over to Fernandes. And Fernandes is trapped by the Barbados defense, who win the free hit outside the Canadian D. Cox controlling deep in the Bajan defense. Ball lifted by Canada. Here comes Davis, driving right with good speed. Ball falls kindly for Warner, who tries a reverse shot. Almost successful.
That reverse shot.
Ball seems to have been adjudged to have been lifted illegally by Barbados. And so Canada regains possession. Tall, powerful figure of Roberts back in defense for Canada. It's come colleague Bath on the left back. Here comes Pereira. And then with them is Devon Teixeira and Dhaliwal. Barbados feeling Warner and Cox and Rudder in the front line. Franklin and Davis in the back. Here comes Dhaliwal trying to find a way through the space and steal stolen by Cox. Barbados comes away with it but settles it back in their defense. Games are might faster than the cricket that you usually commentate, Red.
Yes, very much so. You can hardly identify the players sometimes.
Davis tries to slice up the right side wall. Ball goes with Bath of Canada. Risky pass over to
Very dangerous there.
Canada comes away with the clear.
He was inches away from the goalkeeper's line.
Barbados intercepts, counter-attack to Warner. Warner trying to find Cox. Cox lifted the ball on the reception, turns the ball over to Canada. Roberts into Teixeira. Teixeira is intercepted by Davis. Davis of Barbados comes away, showing a good turn of speed, Davis. But the pass is intercepted by Bronco. Canada once again maintained possession in the back.
Nice back stick by Roberts defensively.
Barbados falling off quite a bit into their own half. Defending just outside the D. Giving Canada a lot of room to edge up the field. Canada enjoying the lion's share of possession at the moment.
And leading 4-0, let's remind you.
Ball stolen by Davis over to Warner. Warner trying to find the streaking Davis. Lifted by the Canadian stick. Seems like the Reds, like Barbados, is willing to sit back in defense and try to capitalize on those speedy counter-attacks to win possession.
Especially down the right flank of the court.
That's a good try there by Yearwood. Clark rather. Tried the first time from the left. Angle was acute and Cunard dealt with it.
Very difficult angle. And the keeper was close to the from first upright.
Here comes Warner into the Canadian D. Called for drilling. Ball once again with Canada. Ball up to Pereira, the right side. Brings the ball down into deep defense. Roberts. Temple to Roberts. Roberts drives. Finds space. That's a shot fly. Here comes Rudder. Full speed up the right side. Challenged by Pereira. Good skill demonstrated by Rudder, but the Canadians win out in the end. Long ball to Roberts. This could be dangerous. Roberts into the D. Can he find space? And he does. A reverse shot high in the air. Fails to find the net.
And that shot can be moved from the shoulder without any big pickup of the stick.
Yes. Canada now driving into the circle. Barbados regaining possession. Barbados enjoying a spell of possession here, but in their own half. No urgency, it seems, to go forward.
Again, that quick ball, diagonal ball out to the right side where the Barbadians have been concentrating on.
Ball into the lead, intercepted by Teixeira. Mika Teixeira. Forward to Fernand. Branco dispossessed. Barbados a long outlet pass that goes wasted. 11 and a half minutes remaining on the clock. Canada up 4-0.
And Canada going to the bench with some new legs. I didn't say fresh.
New legs indeed, as you see Dhaliwal return to the floor. And Dhaliwal puts it in. A beautiful combination coming from Kempo into Fernandes in the middle. He deflects it through for Dhaliwal for the finish.
Had a lot of room on the left side, had time. Keeper came off the line but just couldn't cut her out. Canada leading 5-0 with that goal. And Barbados on the line. And missing an opportunity. Second save by the keeper. So good response.
Good ball by Small to Wharton for Barbados, but Wharton was just beyond the pass. Barbados almost had their first goal of the match that time around.
Just about 10 minutes left in the half.
Barbados opting to play with their second string goalkeeper, Reds. Knight. You see the tall looming figure of Boyce on the bench. Option they have not chosen to use. The penalty corner for the tackle by Barbados.
You know, Philip, you use your bench, you keep the team happy.
That's right.
Less people sulking. Everybody's involved. The Barbadians haven't used a lot of substitutes in this half so far. Canada has gone to their bench.
So penalty corner for Canada. Teixeira lined up and Kemple to his left. Teixeira puts it high into the right side of the net. Pinpoint accuracy, didn't give Knight much of a chance with that shot. Score moves on to 6. 9 minutes to go. Barbados need to be careful as Canada has been known to put big scores on the board.
Barbados just about starting, maybe they get a little tired, running out of ideas.
There's a bit of a collision. Two players.
Shoulder injury.
It's Fernandes of Canada and Warner of Barbados. Seems to have regained his composure. Warner seems to be trying to put the Canadians on in defense. Hasn't worked out too well for him so far. Canada in possession. Bartlett to Shearer at the back.
Same combination again.
Dhaliwal and Damrad up front. Canada putting together a string of passes. Barbados falling off in defense into their own half. The Canadians drive around the right side, turn baseline. Damrad into Dhaliwal. And then now a steal by Bath. Seems like a penalty corner. And it is. every corner for Canada. Interestingly enough, both Jonathan Roberts and Mika Teixeira, who seem to be the first two choices for the corner strike, are off at the moment, Red.
Yep.
So they'll go to Branco on the lineup.
Well,
to the left.
everybody probably being involved in the process in the practice sessions in Canada and here.
Interesting to see if they try a layoff to the left at the moment, given that their number one strike is not on. When they go direct, Branco gives it a try. Not quite as successful as Teixeira and Roberts. And it's a team timeout for Barbados, it seems. 6:43 left on the clock. Canada enjoying a 6-love lead and the majority of the possession.
As we move on with this